The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros. Claressa Shields silenced her haters with a brutal second round KO. Now, there was one fan, or I shouldn't say a fan, I don't necessarily know if he's a fan, but there was one particular observer who was impressed with Shields' performance in the entire event. And that was none other than Detroit's own Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison tweeted out at Claressa Shields starting to have events with 3 exclamation points. So if you don't know who Tony Harrison is, he's a former champion. He has a victory over Jamel Charlo, and he's the former trainer of Alicia Baumgartner. Some say lover. I don't know. I don't dive into them circles, but he was praising Claressa. I don't know if there was some up in there, but Trill Dollar Bill, Claressa Shields has been going through it on the internet, being dragged because we're going to talk about it in the next segment, but she's mad that some people are calling Amanda Serrano and other people to GWOAT. She's been getting dragged all week. She went in there, got the job done in 2 rounds, champion in 5 different weight divisions. Last night, she won the WBC heavyweight championship of the world in women's boxing, along with the WBO light heavyweight championship of the world. Trill Dollar Bill, your reaction to Claressa Shields' performance?
Listen, that week she had leading up to this fight, that's how you show out in your hometown. That's how fighters take notice. All you fighters with these hometown fights and getting sparked out in your hometown fight and losing and coming up with excuses, the pressure, she just showed you how to deal with it. Everybody's talking about this GWOAT. This is how you handle it in the ring. You know what I'm saying? You use in the ring. Shakur Stevenson, you see all that? Yeah, but she also backed it up in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Everybody pay attention to what she did. Coming in there looking thicker than a Snicker. Playing no games. She ain't playing no games. She had to show you what it is. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't mad at her at all. You know what I'm saying? From the weigh-in to the fight, I said, hey, she trying. Claressa doing some things. You know what I'm saying? She done switched it up. I would love to see her stay at heavyweight if she's gonna perform like that and get out all these knockouts. And she listen, the skill set is from that she has between these girls is different. The skill set that she has between these girls is different. She's a different type of beast, different type of animal. I'm looking right now. You know what? I'm going to follow the bouncing ball. I'm just going to talk about the fight right now.
I know what you're saying, because we're going to talk about...
Yeah. I'm just sticking to the
fight. We're going to let you know what's next. We're going to talk about who we think is the GOAT, or the GWOAT, the best women boxer currently fighting today in the next segment. But yeah,
but definitely after this performance last night, you know, she backed out everything she was taught. People just be saying stuff like, listen, this is a new Claressa Shields right here. She got a new look. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That, you know, you know what I'm saying? Claressa got a new look and she got a new style. She's sitting down on the punches and she's getting girls out of there. She's going to be exciting. Everybody's going to be wanting to see her, and especially if she show out just the way she did, man. Listen, and it wasn't a bad card. Last night. I thought it was dope. Congratulations, Claressa Shields. You know, you get it the worst. You know, listen, you done blocked the Boxing Bros. You done blocked us on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? But we got love for you. You know what I'm saying? We was just saying like the type of ways you was moving, the situation with your brother. People just want us to just sit back and just agree, just to agree. But even if we like you and you do something corny, we're going to call you out on it. That don't mean we don't like you. That don't mean we don't rock with you. You know what I'm saying? I done did things messed up. My brother done called me out on like, yo, man, that ain't even right. You know what I'm saying? We done been on the show. He done said things that was crazy. I done said things that were crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it's just boxing, baby. We're just giving us our opinion. Don't mean that we hate you in any way like that. You carry yourself a certain way. You do something good, we're going to salute you. You do something kind of messed up, we're gonna tell you did it messed up. This is all we doing. Ain't no hate and no malice behind anything that we doing, Claressa. I seen your glow up. I respect it. I seen what you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? And I seen your victory last night. You put a lot of heads to bed, and you silenced a lot of critics and doubters. You know, I was excited and want to see you at the heavyweight division again, especially if you're gonna sit down on your shots and give us performances like this. Listen, I was excited. I was a good night of boxing last night.
You think she should stay at heavyweight?
After that last night, I want her to stay there and give me knockouts like that. I think she played herself. Let's put some excitement in this division. I mean, put some excitement not only in the division, but in women's boxing. Having these knockouts, this is going to bring more fans and more fanfare. It's going to make her even a bigger star than what she is. You know? Because, yeah, she was doing good. Yeah, she was winning these fights. But she only had, 14 wins, two KOs. People was looking at it like boring fight. They was putting up boring emoji. The same emoji they was using for Shakur Stevenson, they were using for her. You know what I'm saying? People sleeping. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, Claressa Shields is fighting using the sleeping emoji. Not no more. Now that she stay up there like that and she fights like that. Not no more, because they're going to be looking for her to spark out these opponents. And any girl out there that want to go up there, she's going to take them out. She's going to take them out with that weight and sitting on those weight. She's going to take them out. So Savannah, Cruz, y'all want to go out there and mess with her, go ahead. Go get that. There's more money up there, too. More money up there. And Claressa ain't playing. The power was crazy. The power was crazy. I was impressed.
Yeah, well, I hate to agree with you, but I think she had a great performance. You know, a second round knockout. What can you say, right? What can you say about a second round knockout? And, you know, she knocked out a champion. So this wasn't somebody who didn't have a name or someone who was knocked out in their last fight. Or she knocked out a champion. So you can say whatever you want about the opponent, but the opponent had a belt. She fought someone who had a belt. She didn't fight someone who wasn't supposed to have a chance. She moved up in weight, and in her first fight moving up in weight, she fought another champion. She fought the person who had the strap, who had two straps, really. So in the end, if you can't respect that, you're looking for a reason to hate, because other people aren't doing it, and they get credit for their wins, although they're not fighting other champions, right? So to me, Claressa Shields has done everything you can ask of a person, even before making it to the pro level. Now, she has one defeat in the amateurs to what's her name? Savannah Marshall. And if you watch that fight, I thought Savannah Marshall really won that fight, because all I heard at first was that Savannah Marshall beat Shields in the amateurs. But once the video actually got dropped of that fight, I was like, yo, you know what? That was a fight that could have gone either way. And people made it seem like Shields got raw. I mean, that Shields got cooked. Shields didn't get cooked. She just didn't get the decision. So you're talking about a woman who only lost one fight in the amateurs, won numerous national amateur tournaments, two-time Olympic gold medalist. Last night became champion in 5 different weight divisions, and people still talk trash about her. She has
undisputed.
Two-time undisputed. Two-time undisputed. And all she's done is beaten every fighter that they put in front of her. So Christina Hammer. Remember Christina Hammer? I do. She was supposed to do a job on Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields outboxed her, didn't even get touched. I know some people are going to say that was boring, right? When you use athleticism, skill, and ability to make your opponent miss and keep hitting them. Unless you knock them out, it doesn't count in boxing. If that's the case, make the rules so that the only way you can win a fight is by knockout. Make that the rule, if that's what you want the sport to be. But as long as you score a fight on a 10-point must system, and the rules are that you score defense as well as offense and ring generalship, then you got to shut up when someone is hitting and not getting hit. And if you want to change the rules of the sport, change the rules of the sport. If you're claiming that it's boring or whatever, or create another league, create another boxing league. we give away free game here, and I know people watch and talk about what, because I know, because I see it. Like after we talk about it, here's free game. Create another boxing league, kind of like the XFL to the NFL. Create another boxing league where you can only win by knockout. And if you don't knock your opponent out by the end of the 12 rounds or however many rounds you make it, the fight is ruled a draw. Go make that league. Since you have a problem with boxing, but as long as it remains boxing, all you have to do is dominate your opponent. You can make that league, but here's what I guarantee you. The best fighters in that will always lose to the best boxers in the world because the best athletes are always going to be boxing. It's the same reason why UFC fighters can't even beat Jake Paul, because they can have terrible striking skills and still be champion in the UFC. But when you come into a boxing ring, you can't even beat a YouTuber who decided to take up boxing on the fly, and you're supposed to be the best in your combat sport. You like you got something to say? You can jump in.
No. When you mentioned that, it reminded me of a little boxing history that I got. On April 6, 1893, the longest boxing fight in history took place, which lasted 110 rounds. You know what I'm saying? It started at 7:19 a.m. between Andy Brown and Jack Burke, and it ended in a draw. So when you said that, it just jogged that in my memory. I had to go look that up. Like, that's amazing. And yeah, it's the longest boxing match ever. In 1893, these guys went 110 rounds, couldn't knock each other out, and at the end, after all their efforts, they was awarded a draw. I thought that was.
That's the point. Bring it back to those days. Yeah, like you said, we're real boxing historians, so I understand how the sport used to work back in the days and how they used to. And that's what I'm getting at. If you really want to, go ahead, make it. Go back to the barbaric ways. But there's a reason why they stopped fighting 110 rounds. There's a reason why they stopped fighting 15 rounds and why they do 12 rounds and why they have all these doctors and commissions. And you see, really still isn't really working because you still see people suffer traumatic injuries and even show signs of having brain trauma. But the point that I'm making is you can't penalize someone for boxing. You can't tell me this. I don't care who you are. You can't tell me that Claressa Shields didn't beat Christina Hammer. And you can't tell me Claressa Shields didn't beat Savannah Marshall. Y'all told me Savannah Marshall was like that. Y'all kept this is what I don't like. When you like a fighter, you'll gas up an amateur win over professional achievements. Everyone hung on and clung to the fact that Savannah Marshall beat Claressa Shields in the amateurs and overlooked everything they did in the pros. In the pros, Claressa Shields' resume was so much better than Savannah Marshall's, but everyone was just like, well, she beat Shields in the amateurs or whatever. Because when you like someone, you'll do anything to take away from them. She fought Savannah Marshall in the UK, in her backyard, because y'all said that's where the money was, that's where everything is, and beat her, dog walked her, right? So what more do you want from her? She goes on to accomplish great things and people still hate. So in the end, here's what it is. And I'll close by saying this. I saw the internet. Everyone thought Shields was going to go and cruise to a unanimous decision, and they were still going to get the clowner and still get to say, oh, she's still boring. She still needed 12 rounds. She still got no power. But see, you got to be careful when you're doing what you're doing. Shields went in there not even looking for the knockout. That's when she got it. And I think the light just went off in her head because we always talk about this, bro. You go in there trying to force the knockout, and that's when you won't get it because you're telegraphing, you're loading up, you're throwing punches at the same rate of speed or whatever. When you just go in there to fight, read and react, that's when you land a punch that really hurts someone. She landed that counter just off pure boxing skills, and she hurt her. See, that's what it's all about. I'd say this all the time. And then we talk about Joe Joyce too. The difference between a pro boxer and these amateurs or mediocre boxers is a pro boxer rarely gets hit with a clean punch. Anyone who gets hit with a clean punch, you're going to sleep or you're going to be really hurt. But the pros are really good at rolling with punches, picking off punches, using forms. Like you rarely get hit with a clean punch. But when you do get hit by a clean punch by someone else who's trained to throw a punch, who's been doing it, it's going to hurt. It may even rock you. That's why you see when a pro fighter hits another pro fighter with a clean punch, a lot of damage is done. Shields did that, not even looking for it. And that's a light going off in her head. And Trill pointed this out. At heavyweight, she doesn't have to deplete her body to make fights against opponents she has no business being in the ring with. Alicia Bumgarner wants her to go down to 147 to fight her. Why don't Alicia go up? You see what I'm saying? She doesn't have to deplete her body. She doesn't have to do all that. You saw last night her fighting at a natural weight, and you saw her have power. The males in this sport who deplete themselves to make weight should take notice of that, such as a Devin Haney. Maybe it'd be better for you to fight at 147 and 154 instead of killing yourself to fight at 140.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. I'm the commissioner, Trill Dollar Bill. That's my brother, Caden. It's LLG for life. We the boxing bros. Shout out to the Glow.